Yo te miro, se me corta la respiración. Cuando tú me miras, se me sube el corazón. Me alegro el corazón. En el silencio tu mirada dice mil palabras. La noche en la que te suplico que no salga el sol. Bailando, 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 cuerpo y el mío llenando el vacío, subiendo y bajando. Bailando, bailando. Ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más. Con esta melodía, con tu fantasía, con tu filosofía, mi cabeza está vacía. Ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más. You're here. No puedo más. Quiero estar contigo, vivir contigo, bailar contigo, tener contigo una noche loca, noche loca. Estar contigo, vivir contigo, bailar contigo, tener contigo una noche loca, con tremenda nota. Mira, te llevas a otra dimensión. Tus latidos aceleran a mi corazón, tus latidos aceleran a mi corazón. Qué ironía del destino no poder tocarte, abrazarte y sentir la magia de tu olor. Bailando, 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 bailando. Ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más. Con esta melodía, con tu fantasía, con tu filosofía, mi cabeza está vacía. Ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más, ya no puedo más. Puedo más. Yo quiero estar contigo, vivir contigo, bailar contigo, tener contigo una noche loca, noche loca. Estar contigo, vivir contigo, bailar contigo, tener contigo una noche loca, con tremenda nota.
All right, guys. Good morning.
Good
got
Were you
my
morning.
playing?
schedule this
Were
morning.
you playing some
Good
music?
morning.
Oh yes, I was doing my dance.
Looks like you are in a good mood today.
Oh yes.
Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, guys. Happy Friday. I'm in a good mood most days.
Yes.
Most days, I'll chime in.
Yes, most days. Good morning,
Kelly
guys.
can confirm, right,
Good
Sherry?
morning. Good morning, Christiana. You're going to be happy about this, what I saw this morning. They were talking about let me pull this up real quick. I was going to send it to you. The top metro in Georgia with the fastest growing sales price. Guess where it is? Milton,
Milton.
Georgia.
Yay!
That's where your news
Amazing.
help.
Oh my goodness, I'm so excited. You know,
I saw that. I did see those reports, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
Milton and then Dunwoody, and then it went on to the rest of them.
Yes, the
yeah,
reports had there. I mean, some from what there's a lot of like mixed media out there, right? But at the end of the day, I think we saw. I was talking to Chris, right? Chris was talking last night. I was like, wait a minute.
I just love all the cameras on, guys. It's amazing. I see Judy there, Deval, hey, Heather, Carrie. Come on, guys.
See, everybody's
But
right.
talking about, like I have my flip in Milton that is going on the market next week. I have the photographer there today, and I'm selling my LJ cabin too. So I talk with the realtor up there in LJ, and he's he has, like this big, I don't remember what agency is he with, but he said Atlanta is booming, like whatever it is, like the sales. And I mean, I think Jovana can explain a little bit too on her end, but he said it's amazing what Atlanta is, like the amount of listings people are buying. So I'm so excited for my flip, but I'm also selling my LJ cabin. I'm done after 4 years. I'm like, okay, enough. So I'm gonna list that one too in the market coming soon. But
The
here,
Airbnb one, right, Chris? The Airbnb, the
yes,
short term.
yes.
Yes.
So, but he said the market here it's doing great, and like it feels good overall. Because if we just focus on the news, it's kind of like sometimes can be a little depressing. But
Yeah.
don't listen, keep doing, have
And,
more exits.
and I'm not hearing, and I'm also hearing that from other real estate and also what do you call it? Money lenders. So that's something that we hear time and time again. So and then we're in the industry and we see it, guys. We see it. Like I drive by and I see construction after construction after construction. So I do have some hope. Sometimes we feel a little bit, but yes, we definitely do see it. So. Guys, good morning, guys. We're allowing people to come in a little bit. Good morning, Jovana. You missed our salsa. We had salsa this morning, Jovana. We were dancing a little bit. But so guys, so welcome. So I'll just reintroduce myself again. So my name is Pat Veracity. I am an entrepreneur, a fix and flipper, a jack of all trades, co-living, different things, a rehabber. And then also we have my partner here, Christiane. Christiane, you want to introduce yourself?
Yes, Christiane Silveira here. I am, I am a buy and hold investor. We do fix and flip, and I'm focusing on co-living. So I'm in love with the model. I want everybody to get a co-living and do it's amazing. And so my focus on that. I do some private money lending. I do some loans, but my focus now is just to scale and get more properties, and then go outside Georgia. That's what I want to do. So and if you guys have any questions about co-living, let me know. Phone number right there. Text me. I know sometimes I get busy, but keep bumping the message, and like I can help you guys if you have any questions about co-living.
And Chris, we're looking to buy, you looking to buy, we're looking to buy. So if anybody has any deals out there, please send it our way.
And we buy cash, guys. Like it's not only creative. I'd rather buy, get a loan and do it that way. But we like distressed properties, and that's our motto. But if there's any good creative, that's fine too. So we are buying, yes.
Amazing. Does anybody want to come in before we get started to introduce yourself? Anybody
I
that's
see
new?
Daniel. Are you new, Daniel?
Daniel, yeah, he's pretty new. I haven't
I
seen him in
haven't.
like ages. What's
I
up, Daniel?
haven't.
Good morning.
Good morning. I haven't been on the Zoom yet. I haven't been really plugging into Sub 2 too much, so I wanted to get back in and start plugging back in because I'm just letting this awesome resource go to waste. So,
Yes, it feels good, right, to have the community here, and
yes,
it feels good.
Amazing.
Welcome.
thank you.
Anyone else?
Good seeing you, Daniel.
You too, man.
Davao, you want to say something? I see you.
Well, I'm not new, but
Hi,
I
Davao.
join once in a while when I get time. Besides my busy 9 to 5 schedule. So, hi everyone. This is Dawal. I am also in Metro Atlanta.
Yes.
Deval lives in my neighborhood. I'm always telling him, come on, jump on this morning, Deval.
Yeah, somehow my Friday morning doesn't work, but today I had a time, so I thought let me jump on.
Awesome.
Amazing,
Awesome.
amazing.
Nice to meet you, everyone. Yeah.
Nice seeing you again. I saw Crystal, did you go to the meetup last night? I want to hear a little bit about the meetup before we get started.
I actually wasn't able to attend.
You were
I
not, okay.
purchased the recording, so I gotta take a look at it later. So
Okay, I
I'm
thought you went.
anxious to
Okay.
find
It
out
was
how it was as well.
it was very good. If Abraham pretty much dumped exactly how he does a lot of his buying of houses. and what he might do and how he does. He spoke until almost 10 p.m.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. And it was just, he talked about how he'll go in, he'll rehab. He's like, hey, tell Lowe's you're on my account and you'll get this kind of discount with Lowe's. I mean, he dumped so much information
I love it.
last night. It was, yeah.
That's
Pat, we gotta
amazing.
bring him on to the Zoom,
We
you know.
will. We will.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
amazing.
Hey, this is Michelle. Levi and I were there too. Yeah, it was a great opportunity to network. It was a great site, and he did. I agree. He had a ton of information to share. He talked. I think he started at almost. So that's 2 hours. He started just before 8 o'clock, but I mean, he's a wealth of information for sure.
That's amazing. That's amazing. I was sad I couldn't make it.
So what they
we
did
definitely
this
will.
time, right, Crystal? They sold for people to come and
Uh-huh.
be there in person, and then they also sold the recording, right? That's something new that I haven't seen.
Yeah,
Correct.
that was nice. That
Yes,
was a
they
nice
did.
little feature. Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So it was 25 for the Zoom only. It was 35 RSVP before arriving, and it was 45 at the door. But worth every penny and then some. Doug was there, of course. Michelle, a few others here, and we had a really good time. We didn't get to throw any axes, but if we all go to Lowe's, where we now have the discount, 30% off, we can pick up a few sharp
30%?
objects. 30%.
Son of a
Right.
gun.
So Abraham's office is right next to Lowe's, and between his vicinity and how much business he puts in, he gets a discount of 30% off all of the materials that he gets there.
I mean, he
Amazing.
probably spends
Right.
millions,
Wow, that's big.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah.
big.
Yeah. He said there's probably one person at the pro desk that you're going to have to find who can actually make it happen. But you just watch the video. He might say something more than it's really you walk in and just make sure it's under his account.
Yes. Amazing.
Very good.
Carrie says, any Lowe's, I think gotta be the one by his office, Carrie.
Right. Marietta, Sandy Springs, Marietta area. I'm sorry, just Sandy Springs. Yes.
No, it can be any Lowe's.
Oh,
Right.
really?
Right.
Yeah, because he's
That's
flipping
right.
like he does so much in Gwinnett. That would
Yep.
suck to have to be at his
She's in
Lowe's.
Savannah.
True.
Savannah, Georgia?
No, Atlanta.
Okay. So-
Yeah.
I tried, Carrie, yes.
So, Christiane, I have a question, or anyone who's doing the co-living. Do you all allow guests or overnight guests?
No, no gas.
No guests.
No.
That's a formula for trouble.
Yeah, that's why,
Right.
I just got a co-living property. Pat is doing the project manage for the rehab for me, and there's a pool there, Crystal, and I'm like, we're gonna put something on top of that pool. We revive the pool later when it's time to sell, but for co-living, no, it's just like it invites people to gather more, right? And there's a liability, something happens, with the pool. But this time in the basement has a how you call those things? It's another pool, but it's a
Pool table.
yeah, pool
Yes,
table.
yes.
So that one we're gonna leave it there. But we were very adamant about no guests. And we keep a ring camera. If there's anything, we let everybody know. We send an email and for everybody, letting them know, please, no more. If there's one more, this gonna be we're gonna ask them to move out.
I was trying to do a pool party for everyone. I'm gonna invite everyone over. We're gonna
That's
do
what Pat wanted to
swimming
do.
pool and then
That'd be
the
so
pool.
good.
Okay, guys. Yes.
So, Christina, I have a question. So, how does the co-living work? Is it like a short-term rental, or is more like a 1 year or 6 months to 1 year lease?
It's with Pad Split is the agency, the same as Airbnb is for short term. So the minimum is 6 weeks for the contract. But most people do a 12-week commitment. And so you're gonna see some people coming in and staying for 6 weeks, which for our property is very rare Usually they stay 12 weeks. I think we had only one person, right, Pat, from all the properties that moved out, right?
Yes.
Only one in like since October. And everybody has been renewing, like one of the girls there recommended her friend. So, so like as long as you have a good product, you're good landlord, people are gonna stay. And it's guys, I can't say enough. Like this,
We
as
we
far as inflation, and we don't know what's gonna happen, but this is a good exit to have. Like Pat and I, we do fix and flips too. But now we're like, okay, if we cannot do co-living, in case we cannot sell the property, if we cannot do co-living, we're not gonna do it. We're not gonna do the fix and flip unless we have more exits.
But I guess for co-living, I'm new to this, so
Hey,
maybe I don't have enough.
guys, can we just hold a little bit? Can we get our guest started and then we can get back to it towards the end, just for the questions there,
Sounds good. Yes.
just for the time purpose.
Ray, is your question about co-living?
Yes, it is.
Okay, so we open up once
Yes.
we're done with our guest.
So, yeah,
Okay.
just for time purpose, guys. So I apologize, just for time purpose, so we don't get off track. So, guys, so we want to welcome Jovana, and is Joe there or is just you, Jovana?
It's just me right now. He's outside meeting with one of our lenders at his new construction project. So he should be in a few minutes.
Okay, great. So, guys, we want to do it a little bit different, Giovanna. Thank you so much for coming on. But so we want to do, guys, if you can hold off on your question, we want to ask questions for Giovanna and Joe and kind of to tell their story. So, Giovanna, thank you so much. Please introduce yourself. What we want to hear, Giovanna, is your story. Who are you? Where did you come from? And we want to hear about you. So tell the audience, tell us a little bit about yourself, Giovanna.
Well, first of all, thank you guys for having us here. I've heard you guys' group, but I never participate. I'm always on the sidelines. Joe's the one that always takes over. He speaks for both of us all the time. But my name is Jovana Vargas. I come from the medical background. Can you guys hear me?
Chris, how do we spotlight her, Chris?
I just did it.
Okay.
We can hear you
Okay.
well. The image is not that great, but no problem. We can hear you.
Okay. So again, I come from the medical field. I've been a sonographer for the past 20 years of my life. 5 years ago, or 2019, I jumped into real estate, just curiosity. I started doing fix and flips, just traditional fix and flips with hard money loans. Right after COVID hit, I took a little break, and then went back. I got into a mentorship. I met new mentors, new groups, and they introduced me to mobile homes. And I was a single mom, so my capital to start investing was not like the greatest capital. So, of course, they told me if capital is your problem, then the best way to get in would be mobile homes. So they taught me how to invest in mobile homes. I continued flipping them and selling them, but I started selling on notes. And until today, I still have many homes in Texas. I'm originally from Texas, and I just received the monthly cash flow from all the notes I sold during the past 2 years.
Amazing.
Fast forward to 2023, I met Joe, got into the hard money lending business. He taught me everything hard money, private money, and of course, the new development side. So then him being a builder of new luxury builds and me coming from the mobile home flips. At first, he shot my idea. He was like, nope, we're not doing that. We're not doing any mobile home because,
You say mobile home flips, Giovanna? Mobile home
it's
flips,
trailer.
right? You said mobile home flips, right?
Mobile home flips.
Okay, I want to
Right.
ask you just, okay, I want
Go
to
ahead.
ask you just a few questions and then I'll come back to it. But then I want to go back. I want to know more about you. But the question or the comment first is that I was at Squad Up Summit in Dallas, right? And you from Texas.
Uh-huh.
And I sat in
I'm from Dallas, Texas.
Oh, yay. Okay, so I sat in a taxi cab with another lady that was there, and she does mobile home flips. I forgot, I think it was Florida.
Oh.
And she told me that, she was making $30,000, $20,000 per flip on a mobile home on this cab ride. I was like, oh my gosh, I'm making, I'm reconstructing an entire house, and that's what we make. And I was like, this is something that, and she said it's fast, and it's like trading cars, right? She said it's just like it's not like a house, it's like cars because it doesn't. And I was just amazed about the kind of money that you can make and the quick turnaround that you can make from it. And I had no idea. So
Yes,
tell me a little bit more about your experience with
yes,
it.
and that's a lot. Well, my first flip, well, my first deal completely on my own. The first few ones I did it as an apprentice, just,
Can I ask
following
you
my mentor.
something? You know what? I don't know anything about it. I'm so excited for you guys to be here. Like when Pat told me, you guys will confirm. But when you say mobile home, what do you mean? You
A
know,
mobile,
yes.
so a mobile home are the homes you see that are shipped in trailers and installed in either a community or on land. And I started investing on the ones that were in a community. Just they were
Mhm.
renting the lot and it was just the mobile home itself. So at that point, it's just a vehicle. All you deal with is a vehicle title.
Yes.
Okay.
The ones that
Wow.
are, yeah, and so the ones that are in land, typically those get their title, the vehicle title retired and converted into real property.
Got
Yeah,
okay.
so I started flipping mobile homes within the parks. I would go visit all the park sites. I would leave, my marketing started with doing bandit signs and doing door hangers.
Okay.
I would hire teenagers, my kids, to go around all the mobile home parks in the DFW and leave door hangers. And then I would just
Amazing.
pay them a daily fee. And that's how I got my leads. Because, I
Amazing.
was in a budget and I was like, I can't spend so much money. And I got my first leads just by leaving mailers, door hangers, bandit signs all around near mobile home parks.
So you
Um,
buy, so how do you do as a flipper? You buy the mobile home?
so my first deal came, I got a phone call. Someone was looking to sell. I
Uh,
went to visit the mobile home. I was at first I was like, oh my God, I don't think I can fix this. It was completely damaged. The walls even had mold. The
oh,
roof was like falling apart, and I was like, oh my gosh. They wanted 4,000.
wow.
And I went back and did my numbers and I was like, okay, I'm not gonna pay 4,000 because this is not worth 4,000. Um, I just pitched it and I said, max I can give you is 1,500.
Oh,
It was
wow.
a 1989 model.
Nice.
Uh-huh. I
Um,
told him, it's going to be hard for me to move this home. The conditions, I said, there's really not much value to this. And, the amount of money I'm going to spend trying to bring this back to life is going to be a lot. So I said, the most I can offer you is 1,500. And
That's
sure enough, they accepted
Wow.
1,500.
Wow. Look at that. That's like cheaper than a car, right? And that's a home that you're
Mhm.
buying. But you know
Yeah.
what I think it's amazing that I didn't even think about is that it's, because we're getting in and we're talking about affordable housing, right? Building affordable housing and thing, and it's
Mhm.
part of it. Like we don't think about those things. And that's why I think it's so intriguing that we think about, single family homes and we think about, big and rehab. Like these things, people still need it and they still
They need
profit, right? There's still money to be
it.
made, you know?
Right. So
Yes.
this first deal that I did on my own, it just opened my eyes to a whole nother sector, which is, mobile homes.
Yes.
After, after the seller accepted my offer, I went in, I took my contractor. I spent about 14,000 all in rehabbing it because like I said, it ended up being like the shell itself and completely new drive walls. Everything was completely redone. Spent about 15,000 all in. I want to say 17,000 the purchase and the rehab, and this one I sold it cash for 56,000.
Wow.
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 very nice.
Amazing, amazing.
Amazing.
That's
Yeah,
just,
so
it's just,
How long does it take to rehab those
this one took me about 3 weeks.
wow.
And Joanna, do you leave it on that? I heard you say that the land is rented. So do you remove it like you would a car, or do you leave it on the property?
I'd leave it on the property because it was such an old mobile home. A lot of
Mhm.
the new parks don't allow anything older than 2000s.
Oh, okay.
So I have to leave it there, and then my buyers, they have to apply at the mobile home park first as tenants to make sure they're approved, and then I'll proceed with the sale.
Amazing, amazing.
Yeah, and like I
Levi,
said, it's just a vehicle transfer, just like a
yes,
vehicle transfer. You just sign the title over to them, and but in my case, I did promissory notes on everyone because I was selling it on payments on terms. So down payment, I recovered all of my investment, and then just the monthly cash flow for the next 5 years.
I love that. I love that method, John. That's amazing. Thank you for sharing that story. I want to ask you, so how did you tell me about like your earlier years? Like how was life for you growing up in it was it Texas? Was that tell
Texas,
yeah.
I've always been in, yeah,
Yes.
always been in Texas. Me, myself personally, I come from a, Hispanic household, immigrant family. My parents didn't speak English. When I turned 10, they divorced, separated, so I grew up in a single parent household. It was just me and my brother at that time. Um, right as soon as I exited high school, I became pregnant. I had my first daughter. But having her just kind of gave me that drive from there on that I had to succeed and keep pushing. So I put myself through college. I finished college. I for the next 10 years after having her, I went to college and I worked full time all day. School during the day. I mean, work during the day and school at night. That's all I
And
did for the next 10 years.
and,
And
and
that's
what
how I
and what shift you like in terms of what was the major shift that you saw in you went through your your story and your history, but what were some memories that you felt that has shifted you into what you are today?
I mean, everything. Just, all the challenges that I had to overcome. For one, just being a female was one of them. Just the growth. There's been a lot of moments that have tried me, but
When you
I'm glad. Uh-huh.
No, when you say being a female, right? And I'm gonna say this, I'm gonna defer this question back to Chris and the female that are in the room because as a male, I don't think we truly understand what it is to be a female, right? Whether it's immigrant or not, or Hispanic or not. I like again, we refer that back, but I think that means that even speaks better volume, right? Bigger volume. Like for male, like we don't like we're not being a mother, right? We're not raising a family or kids or anything like that, and have to work and have to put ourselves to school. Like that's a lot. Right? Just to think about that as a parent today. But what does that,
Uh,
Chris, I don't know, maybe you can help me out more with that from the female standpoint. Like I think that's amazing. It's an amazing story. But
yeah,
I
I
don't,
mean,
I don't think I can relate to that, right? Like in terms of that standpoint.
sometimes you just have to do what you have to do. There was instances where there was one instance that I'm always gonna remember in my head. My kids were in daycare, and I was in school, I was working, and then my bank account hit to its, I was at my lowest. And I remember one time all I had was $25 for the rest of the week until payday, and my daycare was like, okay, you have a balance and you need to pay it off or your kids won't be able to stay anymore. They're not gonna be able to come to daycare. So I just remember that night I went home, I cried, I prayed, and I don't know what. I showed up the next day at daycare and they were like, "Oh, we went through our books again and you actually have a credit. You don't owe anything," because I owed like 500 apparently. And then
Wow.
the next day I showed up and they were like, "No, you're fine. Your kids can continue coming." And since that day, I was like, I will never ever be at $25 balance again. Like I
Wow.
have to keep growing. I have to keep having savings. Like that moment just until today, it's in my head. I would never ever want to be put through that position again. But also just like I said, I don't know what happened. To me, it's my faith that I prayed so hard that night and the next day was just miraculous to me.
Wow.
You talk about prayer, and it's just one of those things where, like, when we're down on our feet and we put that energy out to the universe, right? Like we
Mhm.
see, like, it's that energy where it's like miracle happens. And, you can call it, God, you can call it the universe,
Right.
but those things really it matters. Like, it works. There's sometimes you just, like, I know we talk about like abundance and money. Sometimes, like, money just falls out of the sky, right? And you'd say that in a certain way. I'm not saying that in terms of physically, but like, you get in a situation you just don't know, and you just take that leap of faith and say, okay, let me put it out there. And all of a sudden you came the next day and you're like, oh my God, you got a credit. Like, we hear those times time and time again. I know the audience, you guys, whether you have experience that or not, I can guarantee you at least half the people from the audience has that experience, and that's amazing, because that's something
Pat,
that we
Yes,
don't.
it's always
Yeah,
gonna be stuck in my head. I mean, it's gonna be something very surreal to me because I mean, they were like, tomorrow your kids can't come if you can't pay this anymore. And I was like, I can't, there's nowhere for me to leave my kids. I can't leave work and I have to continue school. I was paying my rent. I was paying my school. I was paying my college tuitions and daycare. I have no idea how I did it, but I did it.
Giovanna,
And
being a female in any industry, right, in the world that we are, that man, runs the world, and we come up, like, I always wanted to do my things, and like, I think what works for me, and I'm sure for a lot of women, that out there doing the things, it's like I don't think about it. I don't walk in a room waiting for, oh, the man or not. I come in as myself. I ask the questions that I want to ask. I think that my biggest secret, like, I am unapologetic. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna find out. Like, how many times Pat knows that have I been called feisty? Because, like, anything that I raise my voice, that I say something that, the male usually say, oh, you feisty. I'm like, no. Like, like, but you see the difference, the treatment, right? Like, when I walk into the bank, I walk into the bank with Pat, even, like, those difference, but I never let that, be my way. So I think that's what, for a lot of women, they probably feel the same way. Like, it's not, I'm gonna do it. I don't care. I understand, by being here, being an immigrant, being a female, blah, 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 blah. I don't let that sad music, like, I'm like, I know it's gonna be, some things are gonna be harder, but that's not gonna stop me. So, and I'm doing really
exactly.
well, like, I love it, like,
Exactly. And
just,
being in the real estate industry you have to develop a little tough skin. Like I said,
yeah,
it's a very highly male dominated industry. And then walking in here not knowing, until today, sometimes I just stay quiet because I get like the imposter syndrome and I don't know everything.
yeah,
I'm still learning.
oh yeah.
But like you
You're
said, you do have to
growing.
be a little sassy out there and put yourself like,
Yeah, but if you're growing, you're gonna have the imposter syndrome. It doesn't stop.
right.
That's the way it is. It's crazy. But
Mm-hmm.
it's nice to walk into rooms and see a lot of women. Like, I don't think we need to do business like the way men do. Like, I have my softness, I have my ways of doing things, totally different than Pat. But that's okay. We both do well. We're different, and that's
Right.
fine. We all welcome, right? We all come to the room,
Absolutely.
and yeah.
Yes,
But
and
okay,
we all have our talents, and like I said, we women have our own talents, but we all also need the men perspective, men to
oh
lead, and they're
yes.
good teachers. To
I
me,
love
all my
doing business
mentors
with
have been
men.
males.
Like, I always tell people, like, I hate women that are against men. I'm not, but I want to have my space, and I'm gonna claim it. But I love working with men too. I understand how they think. I understand, I learn a lot from them. I'm sure they learn a lot from me, and that's the way it is. Yes, but Pat,
yes.
uh,
So
I
yes.
do want to dig into the, now that she's with Joe, and what you guys are doing, and, like, what are the opportunities for the, Pat, you were talking about affordability, like, what
Yes.
guys, yes.
So the segue that I like is the fact that, she was flipping, mobile homes, right? Because sometimes we don't think about that, right? Because we think about affordability. Chris, you talk a lot about co-living, and you're talking about building, and now of course, if Joe's available now, we want to hear the side, but the transition, uh, I think he's there. I think he's there, Jovana.
Oh, he is.
Yeah. But Jovana, so getting into so from your flipping, now let's get into it, and we can transition Joe into here too. So tell us what you guys are doing. Tell us what you guys are doing out there.
So
Yeah.
today we're building brand new manufactured homes. So it's all a different it's been a transition for me as well because I know how to flip homes. I don't know how to develop land and
Can I just do a little bit now that Joe is here? So when you told him, "Hey, let's do this," and he was against it in the beginning, tell me a little bit about. Yes.
You see now, that's that female. That's that female sidekick in there. She's like, okay,
You
you can
know,
have that
Joe, I'm
power.
gonna get.
no. So when I first met him and he introduced me to what he does and then he started asking me what I do and I I'm not gonna lie, at first I was embarrassed to say I flip mobile homes because they're not seen as a home. So I was like, well, I flip mobile homes. And as soon as I said that, he's like, nah, you're gonna leave that. I'm gonna teach you how to do real flips and real new construction.
See, that's that macho man
He
kicking in.
just
That's what
shot
it
my
is.
idea down completely. And since then I was like, okay, I'm not gonna even mention it. I'm gonna do my thing and just observe him. And then he met one of his old friends that coincidentally he's also doing the same thing, just investing in mobile homes and mobile home parks. So that hearing it from another man from another perspective kind of made his
Wheel
his
turn.
brain
They
start
were like,
switching and
okay.
he was like, okay, tell me more. Maybe I do want to hear this whole mobile home thing.
That's
And that's
that's
how
how
we
we
got into
operate,
it.
Giovanna. That's how we operate. We pretend we didn't hear you, but we all know here, guys, that she's the mastermind, okay?
Yeah. So then what he knows, which is developing land and then just doing the little twist of why flip when we can just bring a brand new home. Let's do that. Let's do that play. So here we are, just we're learning as we're going, but it's nothing different. It's challenging, but it's different type of challenges.
Yeah. So tell me how it looks like today. Like you guys are not flipping anymore, right? You guys, I
Today we're not flipping, but we will because now with everything going on and me being here.
okay, guys, just one second. Let me mute.
Somebody has a baby.
Yeah. No, the baby has a question, maybe.
Yes.
Let me mute all and then I'll yeah. Okay. One second. Let me get Giovanna back. I'm just muting everybody because everybody's on mute. All right. Yay! Sorry, guys. No problem with the baby, guys. Can everybody hear me?
Yes.
Okay. So how does it look today? I know you said so far you guys have been buying.
We're
brand
buying land.
new-
We're
Yes.
buying land, developing it, and installing brand new manufactured homes.
Okay.
2025 models, all brand new. The problems are not the homes, right? The challenges we're running into right now is like the whole development and installing utilities, just things unrelated to the actual home itself, because it's a brand new home. But still, the turnaround time has been pretty fast.
So when you say that you guys buy land, does it need to have a special zoning for what you guys are doing? Got to be
Yes.
rural areas or
Because it is manufactured homes, they're usually in the rural areas. So yes, we're buying about an hour outside of Atlanta city limits.
okay.
And of course, before we buy anything, we have to make sure zoning, manufactured homes are allowed. We have to do our due diligence as far as like septic or sewer. If it's a big lot, we're asking, are we able to subdivide and how many homes can we fit into it? And then if those boxes check, then yes, we go ahead and move forward with the purchase. And then of course we have our budget. We have our budget, our numbers. So it has to fall, also the price has to fall within that number that we have allocated in our budget. Once we put it under contract, we start doing our due diligence, which is soil test survey. We start ordering the manufactured home, grading, everything that needs to take place prior to bringing the home into the land.
So the sewage, is that what kind of type of sewage it is? Is it's septic or how does
Septic.
it work? Septic.
We've had septic. Yes, and then one of the things we learned is whenever it's septic, we have to get the permits from the environmental
Yeah.
the county
I'll wait,
the environmental
get
county
to
health
that.
department. Whatever the city says doesn't matter. They're the bosses.
Yes, I had to go through that too, one of my properties that I'm trying to subdivide. But it's amazing, you know. So you guys have been buying brand new mobile homes, ordering them, and then they come a couple of weeks later or a couple of months later. What is the time? You know,
So the
you
turnaround
guys,
time to
yeah, for
build
you guys,
a brand new.
since you get the land until you guys are done with the project, how does it work? Like you do one at a time, you sell one, and then you buy another one, and
So the way we started right now, we have 9 lots.
wow.
One home is done already. One is like 80% done. And then we're moving on to the next ones.
And then to buy mobile homes is cash. There's no loans, nothing, right? Because it's not, once
No, it's all private money.
land, it's real estate. Okay.
It's all private money. We buy the land ourselves, and then with the private money, of course, fund the projects, order the homes, and pay all the team involved in prepping of the land and our installers.
Is Joe at the property now? Is he
He's
in
at
the thing?
Where is he? He was here, right?
Joe, can you tour us? Are you at the property? I see
He
a lot
said
of
something,
construction
yeah.
background there.
What's up, familia? How are you?
Good, good. Good morning, Joe.
Top of the morning.
Morning.
Happy Easter, everybody. Easter.
Oh,
No,
yeah, Good Friday.
Good
Good
Friday.
Friday today, yes.
Good Friday. Yeah. Yeah, so everything the boss said is correct. And Christian, please don't give her more ideas as to getting aggressive and
Let
all
me
that.
tell
She
you.
takes it out on me. And I'm like, all right.
Like I said, I'm like, I love seeing women doing the thing, man. I'm so proud for, because it's harder for us guys. And like seeing women doing things, being a mom, or not even a mom, but being a mom is even harder. So for all the women here in this Zoom that are doing the things, I mean, it's amazing. I love the glass.
I'm sorry?
Your glasses, are those
Thank you.
or are those for vision?
No, it's just for the Miami style, And
Thank you for dressing up for our Zoom. Look at that. Huh? I'm saying for our Zoom. I don't know, but yeah.
No, you're good. You're good. No, to be honest, guys, Jovana opened my eyes to the affordable housing market. I never understood the comps for manufactured homes because as us hard money lenders, we don't finance that because it's a vehicle, right? But when I understood the process of it, and she planted the seed, and then an acquaintance of mine, he was a very seasoned flipper out in like Athens area, and he was crushing it for like 5 to 6 years, and then just fell off the face of the earth. And then last year, he came back and he was like, "Hey guys, I'm back, but you guys got to tap into the manufacturer space." And I'm like, "Papi, talk to me. What's going on?" So he was telling me all about the perks as to, man, you don't have to babysit these guys doing the build of a house, from roofing, trusses to subflooring, insulation, electrical, the roughings and all that. It's they'll come and deliver it. So I mean, he really didn't get into detail, but he's like, I'm like, wait, what? He goes, yeah, man, and these properties are they get they're approved to receive 100% USDA financing, and I'm like, what? Wait a minute, because we're all used to investing in Atlanta or in the suburbs of Atlanta where USDA doesn't work, right? So I was like, okay, well, that's definitely a plus because it's another tool uh, for you to sell your property, right? If somebody could qualify for 100% financing, they're going to go for it all day, right? And then when he told me that these properties are going for minimum $250,000 for certain square foot certain floor model, I was like, no way, dude. And so, we were going back and forth with numbers, and I'm like, man, this makes total sense. Underwriting land to some people is difficult. They just don't have the right resources, the right systems. They don't know what to ask, who to call, like the environmental health, the county. So therefore, if you don't have those resources, you say, hey, I'll just stick to flipping. I'll just stick to what's a half hour to 45 minutes away from me. But with this type of market, and affordable housing is still a crisis, and it's going to be a crisis for many years to come. And with the pricing in the suburb areas and in the city, it's not affordable. And many of us Hispanics, we're willing to drive an hour out so we could have an acre minimum of land, so we could park our machinery, host our big parties. So it was like, man, it makes sense, right? And so I pulled my comps, and I started seeing comps of, you know, 250,000, 275, 310 with 2 acres of land. But these comps were built in 1999, 2004, 2007. And I'm like, man, imagine if we bring in a 2025 model and just sell it at 250, a quarter million. It would sell off the shelf. So, but yeah, it's definitely a learning curve. It's different. Um, People in the county don't work as fast as counties in the city or in the suburbs. Another thing is they're very slow. You have one person doing the work of five.
Yes.
Right.
Yep.
So you have to be very specific as to what you need, what type of assistance you need, because another thing which kind of still sucks is that they see us as outsiders. They're like, oh, they want to come into our neighborhoods and try. So you gotta battle that, but you always have a solution to everything. It is what it is. You roll with the punches, and it's just nuts. So, like, for instance, we were waiting for our electrical meter to be installed, and they subcontracted out. The electrical company subcontracted out the assignment, and they tore up our water line.
Oh my goodness!
Like yes, we just got a picture yesterday. Say, hey Joe, look what these knuckleheads did, and I'm like, come on, man, like. And it's because they subcontracted out the assignment, so now we have to go back and put in a complaint. It's just an extra fluff that that as an investor you just got to take it in the chin and just, instead of bitch and moan about it, just get a solution going, fix it, and then we'll figure it out later.
You know what's funny when you say that, Joe? Because I grew up in Atlanta, and I always thought that everything was Georgia Power. And then as I was going out, I was like, wait a minute, it's not Georgia Power. And come to find out that everything outside of the big city is private, small business, and they sub everything out, and they're just like anybody else, right? It's just amazing that you say that, because I didn't know that.
And every company has its own set of rules and their regulations. And because we had submitted the application 3 weeks ago for electrical meter to be installed, and they just did the trench right now. They haven't even still installed the meter yet. They're installing the meter on Tuesday of next week. So imagine, it's just like, man, something that's quick, like like here I'm on site on one of our new construction projects. They'll come out quickly.
Is that the manufacturer? Is that the manufactured home you're in now?
No, I wish.
I was just thought of that. That's a big house for a manufacturer home.
This is a big manufactured home. No, so guys, the reason why I jumped on late is because so we do luxury modern builds, and we bought another piece of land next door. And so my PMLer came to see what we're actually doing now, so he could have a sense as to, hey, we have the experience. He wants to see what we're doing. And so we were walking the property. He was asking a couple of questions. They come from South Florida, from Aventura. So they flew in just to kind of see this one. And he left away very happy. He was like, oh, man, this is awesome. We showed him an appraisal that we did last month. The appraisal came back at 1.2. So we're very excited.
Wow.
And, we just have to be ready for them. Like we had to just hand them all the information on the silver platter and say, hey, listen, this is what we're doing. These are our plans. This is where we're at. This is our certified appraisal. Here you go. Now you make the decision as to how much you're willing to finance. But yeah, so we've got a lot of things going from affordable housing to luxury living. So very excited.
Joe,
Uh,
I want to get back to the affordable housing, but I want people to know you too, right? They don't know. Maybe the majority of them know you as the money guy, right? You're the hard money lender. Everybody knows you for that. But tell us a little bit more because you are seem like you're the jack of all trades. Tell us a little bit more about kind of from from the lender side and also to the building side. I want to hear the building side of it, and then I want to get back into the mobile home side of it. Or
okay,
not the mobile
so
home, but the yes,
so so
manufactured
I'm
home.
a stay at home. I'm a stay at home dad. Uh, she's actually over there on her camera. No, guys. So, just a little bit about me. I've been in the industry since 2005. I used to underwrite for Countrywide many years ago in the mid 2000s. At the same time, I was a firefighter in Key Largo. I was a drive engineer for 7 years. 2016, I transitioned to the dark side of lending, hard money, private money. 2019, I started my first investment as a new construction, and I dabbled into fix and flips, but I just got so frustrated with so many unknowns, and I'm like, why am I going backwards? There were certain deals that made sense because it was a quick fix, but for the most part, with the market shifting, so many unknowns, buying a fix and flip with zero due diligence in many cases. I said, nah, I'd rather just stick to new construction. And so the funny thing is when Jovana's like, yeah, babe, mobile homes. And I'm like, Jesus. I'm like, I'll support you, but let's shift this way. Why? Because when we moved from New York in the late 80s to Miami, our second home was a trailer. It's a trailer, like trailer trash. Like this was just our upbringings. Like my parents are Colombian. They came here with nothing, right? Their first language was Spanish. So, but for me as a little kid playing basketball with a soccer and a milk crate with a hole in it, that was our basketball hoop. But it was fun. It was like, oh man, we live in something with wheels. Like this is so cool. But the stereotype of it, trailer trash, it was like, yeah, I lived it and I don't want to go back to it. Right. So when she brought that back to me, it kind of like brought me in a good time of my life, but not really, because now I know what it is. And I'm, of course, we're in a different part of life too. But yeah, so transition to new construction, and then
Wait,
just help.
can I ask you a question, okay, or a comment too, just before we move on to that sector? Because I had the same, it's this exact same thing that you went through, right? So I grew up here in Atlanta. I grew up in College Park, and I grew up in the apartments. And when I heard about co-living, it was the same thing. Like I don't, I don't want to get into, to be a slumlord. I didn't want to do that. Like I had the same thing. But it's just that. And I don't know, guys, and I don't want to say out there to everyone, it's like because we don't want to go like we feel like sometimes we're going backwards, right? We're talking about affordable housing because I want to kind of transition to that, but it's like we feel like because we saw that was a thing in the past that we got away from. Like we want to get into apartment buildings, luxury homes, new builds, and things like that. But at the same time, I think it goes full circle now that I'm seeing it from that angle. But I had the exact same epiphany, and I realized that it wasn't what I thought it was or what I felt back then, right? Living in a cramped apartment in College Park, it was just so I know the feeling. I know what you went through because I was the same way. I was against it.
Yeah. So, the beauty of what I do as a hybrid broker, that we see everything with two sets of lens. We see it one as an underwriter, lender, and another one as an investor. So I have a lot of newbies coming in. They're like, oh, they're putting in too much of what they would think, too much of what they want if they lived in it,
Yeah.
and they're over budgeting. And I'm like, listen, you have to attack this at a certain angle as to you're not living there, but still make it livable, and lead with your heart. Do it right. Don't cut corners, right? So, and then now we're here. We're here. We're expanding our team. We're growing. We're having a new hire training next week for 5 days straight for intense training. So it's just everybody's just they want to learn the trade. with those that are actually doing it. There's a lot of people out there that do one flip and now they're doing courses, YouTube's, podcasts, and I'm like, dude, that's not right. You know, and just like you guys, you and Christiane are seasoned vets. You guys are just what I like about you guys is that you guys are exposing your journey, which is amazing. Not everybody's perfect. I'm not perfect. Everything I put out there is everybody seeing it through the lens of my phone. Like I'm not. We don't sugarcoat nothing. I love to tell everybody, yo, they just messed up my water line. Now we've got to go out there, and I'm an hour and a half from Royston, Georgia. So after this, from McDonough, I have to drive up north to go see what these knuckleheads did, right? So people just kind of only talk about the good, but there's way more bad. There's way more challenges than just at the end of the day after 8, 9 months. Oh yeah, I made 40 grand, but they don't really showcase the challenges, the sleepless nights. Jovana had $25 in her bank account. You know how many times I've been negative? But that's part of being a business owner. That's part of, hey, you feeding everybody before you even eat yourself. Right?
Exactly. Yes.
So
So
as real estate investor, I feel like I never have money. Everything that comes in goes out, but that's the way it is. And you just, risk the management and keep doing what you're doing. It's that's the life of entrepreneur, right? Where are you there? That's new construction, right? Your site where you are there?
yeah. Yeah, this is
Okay.
let me quickly give you
Yeah, give us a tour. Give us a tour of this construction here.
sure.
And Joe, I want to ask you too, because you're talking about raising capital. If I don't know if you want to talk about it, but what are you
Yeah.
offering for your private money, excuse me, for your private money lenders for the mobile homes, for those projects? Do you want to talk about it, or should people
Um
reach out to you if they want to invest
so
with you?
so to do it right, we have a pitch deck, right? Because if we verbally give it to you, you guys don't see the whole picture, the whole project, right? So we have our presentation. It takes us about 15 minutes to do. I know we're just a little bit caught up on time, but yeah. So we do two different options. We do private lending, just a PML or PMP, private money partner, equity share. So hang on, give me 1 second. So this is 5,800 square feet. It's a modern build, 4 bed, 3.5 bath. It's going to be a 3-car garage with a basement, full basement. We have to, if we want to get that $1.2 million value, we have to do the basement. So we just got HVAC installed. We just got plumbing materials delivered not too long ago, and
Joe, what is the square footage again?
5,800.
Wow.
Okay, I
Yeah,
understood 15. I'm like, how he's gonna
yeah,
keep point whatever? You see in
that,
California?
yeah. So this one, we've been waiting for about 6 weeks for windows, and I just got a text message yesterday that the windows will be here on Monday.
Oh,
So yeah,
I
let
love
me tell you,
that.
windows have
I'm
been
so
so
ready. I'm so ready
uh,
to round up.
yeah. So that's where the chandelier is going to be hanging from. We're on the second floor. So
Awesome.
you've got the kids' rooms here. You've
What
got the
area?
washer,
What area are you in Atlanta?
McDonough.
McDonough. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I know McDonough.
This is the master.
Nice.
You got his closet here, her closet there. She's gonna have uh uh ceiling to floor mirror. What is it you the powder room? What is it you ladies call it?
Pantry room?
No, pantry room.
No, I don't know. I don't know. Don't
Yeah.
ask me. You got to ask Chris on
Oh, you're gonna
I
get
don't
it,
know.
Pat. You're gonna
I,
get it, Pat. What are you trying to say with that, Pat?
that. That's the office.
that's Joe for you.
Joe, how's working in with McDonough or the county or the city?
Oh,
Henry?
their online process is pretty simple, but it takes them a while to get back to you. Luckily, we do have a good relationship with certain reps that they give access. They give us access to their cell phone, their personal cell phone. So, like, if I need something done, I just send them a text instead of calling them,
Yes.
and they'll just respond to me.
Amazing. Amazing.
Yeah,
That
but
was
yeah.
Henry
So it's
County.
huh?
No, I think because I grew up, in the South Side. So Henry County was once upon a time the fastest growing county in the state and semi the nation. Once upon a time.
Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah. So but yeah. So it's a process, guys. It's there's no perfect time to deep dive into real estate. It's just you just get in, man. You get in. Just understand that whoever your lender is, they're gonna be the final yes or no. If the deal doesn't
Yeah.
make sense, good. It doesn't make sense. Walk away and like don't cry about it. Just go find a better scenario. Let it be somebody else's headache. But if the lender says yeah and you have the means to the resources to get it done, knock it out. That's it. I mean, that's the only way you learn. Like there's no even if you get mentorship, that mentorship is okay. Like they're not gonna hold you by the hand. You're just gonna have to, you know, just learn as you go. Like for instance, when was the last time it snowed? Exactly.
I
It
don't
snowed
remember.
twice.
January.
It
We just
snowed
had,
no, it snowed twice recently.
yeah.
And before the first time it snowed, the day before, my framing package got here. Imagine that. So I had to call my guy Salvador. I'm like, papi, usted venga, pero ya. Get over here, bro. Bring your whole crew, the boys, the fellas, los tíos, and get this done. And they got it done. That man, let me tell you, these guys
Ah,
were amazing. So
that,
it got done. It was good because everybody was on a freeze, and then it snowed literally not too long ago after that.
yeah, that's one thing that delays a lot, like the stuff that you have no control, right? If it rains, if it snows or all of that, it delays the project. That's some people that they don't realize, going building, even for flipping for us is the same thing. Wow, it looks
That's
amazing.
Yeah.
beautiful, Joe. That looks gorgeous.
So
Yeah,
Yes.
we bought that lot as well.
awesome.
So
So you,
we're working on those plans as we speak. So once we have those plans in place, then our GC goes ahead and pulls for his building permit, and then once that gets approved, it's game time. We start grading and everything.
how long do you guys, like, how long is it taking you guys to do that uh, build up that house there? Like
So
about a year?
here's the thing: when you work with partners, it gets a little bit challenging because your partners are not on site, right? Your capital partners. So what happens is when you need something to be paid, something to be executed, it's on their time, right? So you as the operator, you have to be consistently on top of them and say, "Hey, don't forget you got to pay this. Hey, I already sent you the invoice. Hey, don't forget to, it's a reminder." But you can't be pushy, right? And
Right.
most of my capital partners are well off. They're always on vacation or traveling, so they're like, "Oh, I missed the email. I'm sorry." And it's like, come on, like my guy needs his money. So from here, we should be done in about 4 to 5 months. Once we get these windows in. Once we get the windows in, then we get brick. Then we get right now we're also waiting for the plumbing, the fixtures, everything to be delivered. So my plumber can go ahead and do what he needs to do for his roughings.
Joe, what would you say for people that are just getting started for our audience, like who, even for myself, right, who does fix and flips, like the difference between fix and flips and getting into new construction? Because the thing that, people always say with new construction is long money, right? It takes a long time outside of a flip.
Mhm.
What is your opinion on that?
Just get in. Just get in. Get in. Get the exposure. Enjoy the journey. Enjoy the journey. If it goes great, great. If it doesn't, you're learning. Like you have to learn certain scenarios so you don't have to do it again, or go through another scenario where contractors literally just you know drop the ball on you, right? So you have to go through both. if you ask me if I would do new construction or flip, it just depends on your resources. It just depends on your resources. If you're capable and you can, to raise the capital, the resources are always there. Anybody could reach out to Pat, to Christiana, and say, hey, do you have a GC? And they'll be like, yeah, I might have one or two. But at the end of the day, it's your responsibility to do your due diligence on everybody that you're going to work with, period. Right? So, you know, if you're in this community, there's no reason why you shouldn't be JVing with two or three people on your first deal. Like, just knock it out. Like, don't expect to be rich the first 10 deals that you do. You're not. I could guarantee you this, you're not. Because once you start seeing more money follows more opportunities, which follows more headaches, right?
So
And so, like
true.
Christiane said, is like, hey, you just feel like money comes in and money goes out. Absolutely. The difference is that this is for you. So those that are working a 9 to 5 and are making good money, great, and are working overtime, great. But you have to ask permission to go to the bathroom. You have to ask permission to go pick up your kids. You have to go ask permission to go on vacation. You just cannot just be like right now, like, how many people are working right now? And to me, this is not work. I love what I do. I'm meeting up my PMLers. I'm giving them the information to keep growing. And it's part of that versus me having to go clock in when I did many years ago. And many years ago, I would say like 3 or 4 years ago when I worked for a direct lender on their terms, and I had to be on a Zoom call every day at 8 a.m. telling them what I'm doing, what I'm breathing. I'm a grown man. Like I'm not gonna do that no more, right? So
It's like you building his dreams, right? Like anybody, if you want to build your dream, there's people that are fine,
that's
building
fine.
other people's dream. They like to be off at 5, like good, we need them. But if you want to build a good life, you can do those type of things. So, or you either building your own dream or you building somebody else's.
Right. And there's nothing wrong with you having a career. There's
Exactly.
nothing. I listen. I'll guarantee you, with the great financial crisis, when I got let go as a firefighter, is because people, when they were losing their homes, that's how we get compensated, through property taxes, right? So if nobody's paying their homes, especially in the Florida Keys, then they demote you. And I'm like, man, I was making close to like $250,000 a year as a firefighter, combined with my salary and FEMA. Because remember, Hurricane C,
Wow.
they be paying top dollar for you to be on duty, right? So I was getting county money plus FEMA money. So
I didn't
imagine.
know firefighters had it like that.
Oh, Bobby, we have it more than that. I say,
That's amazing. That's
but so
amazing.
what happens is, once that happens, and I'm like, man, at that point, I said, man, I went through intense training, going through psychological uh, scenarios where I'm seeing dead people, I'm picking up dead people. You have people with amputated legs. That you see like a lot of things that psychologically mess you up, and then because of this great financial crisis, I get demoted and I go from $250,000 to $1,200 a month as a volunteer, and I'm like, man, so nobody's job is really secure.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Nobody's job is really secure. So I'll say, you know what? Let me get back to my real estate swing of things and be my own boss. And life happens. I got back. I went with a direct lender to get, proper training and really understand the secondary market. And I said, nah, I can't do this. I rather work for me.
Joel and Giovanna, you guys, like for whomever is interested in learning more about mobile homes, like do you guys have Zooms? Can you guys come, let us know if you have any Zooms so I can tell our community to be there? Because I'm sure only here, I'm sure there's a lot of people that are interested to hearing more. So if you guys offer, if you guys have Zooms, or I know you guys have on-site visits. I've seen for the ground up, and I saw for the mobile homes too, an
We
entire week.
should,
Anything,
we should
let us
do a
know.
we should
Huh?
do an on-site on either my modern homes or manufactured homes. We should set one up.
Okay,
If
guys,
people,
what do you guys think? For
yeah,
people here not from me, are
Can you
you
guys
guys
put a
interested?
yes on there or no if you guys are
Yeah.
interested? If you're interested, put a yes, guys, on the side.
That would be awesome, guys. Um, I honestly like. I'm loving the manufacturer play because it's already done for you. All you have to do is the infrastructure, and that's it. Um, and of course, going out there and seeing, the new 2025 models, like you'd be like, oh my god, if I blindfolded you, and I put you in the middle of the living room, you wouldn't even know it's a manufactured home. Like that's how updated everything is.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, we
So,
have
so what,
things right here. So, let's definitely do something.
we could coordinate a weekend for everybody to drive an hour and a half to kind of think about life and the scenery out there.
I do have to add that the something that we don't think about, right? Something you said earlier. So I've noticed that, and I've also talked to other investors and friends that talk about, out there in between Athens and Commerce and those areas up there, that there's a lot of factories, there's a lot of things out there. So affordable housing is needed. Like when we think about affordable housing, guys, it's not only in the city of Atlanta, right? It's in the rural areas of Georgia. It's everywhere, and that's the beauty of it, right? So there's like, we're talking about abundance, like the opportunities and opportunities to make money is everywhere. And I just think that I think we get so close-minded. I mean, Giovanna was talking about, flipping mobile homes, like those things. There's a need out there. So I think you guys are doing an amazing thing. And being out there is like an hour and a half. Sometimes I'm like, oh my gosh, things are an hour and a half. But there's a need, right?
It's a need, but you know what? Sometimes like you need to get away from it all, and that has been my like. When I go out there and I'm meeting up with my septic guys or they're setting up one of the homes, like when you listen to Mother Nature, you sometimes need that too.
Agreed. I totally agree. So guys, we're gonna open it up. We're gonna open it up for questions now. So if does anybody have any questions, we are now at our question stage. We had some hand raises there on manufactured home new builds. Ray, is your hand is still raised? Did you still have that question, sir?
I think it's up since the beginning.
Yes. Okay, I think they're a little bit towards that.
I had a question about the new construction. Um, so are you guys primarily just doing like one home at a time, or are y'all planning to do like whole neighborhoods at some point?
So we do one-offs, but my team right now has tapped into a 13 home subdivision of just modern homes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And are you guys currently looking where are you guys currently looking to acquire land at for both new homes and the manufactured homes?
Manufactured homes, the northeast part of Georgia, like going up 85, like Royston, Bowman, Eberton, Elberton, Hartwell. We just bought two more lots in Hartwell that we're getting everything situated to get financing for that. And then for new construction, McDonough is almost an hour and change from us.
That depends on traffic, Joe. With traffic, it's 2 hours.
Yeah, but an hour and a change at 3 o'clock in the morning. But yeah, guys, I have amazing partners here as well. I want to give a shout out to Edgar Vargas and Doug Hacker as well. A lot of in the community, they come. They're also our partners as well. So we have a very close niche of those working together with us, and we're all learning in the process as well. I mean, doesn't matter how many times you do a flip, you're always learning every project. Like I've never met one person that says, "Oh yeah, no," that goes, now we have a challenge. Now we have something different. Now what? Right? So, huge shout out to those gentlemen for sure.
Amazing, amazing. And you know what I love about those gentlemen, Joe? I'll give them a shout out too. They're consistent. They're always showing up at the meetup. They're always showing up, and they're consistent, right? I think that's something that we undervalue, right? We have people come, people go, but the consistency, man, it's amazing. Like being consistent is so important, in what we do, right? We keep going.
Yeah.
But guys, like, we had
No,
some
and no, they're very knowledgeable too. They're knowledgeable, they're resourceful. So it's cool. It's cool when you lock arms with those that are hungry as you, and they're like, okay, they're also solution finders. That's another thing.
Hey,
Because
Joe, we have two more questions. You guys have time?
yeah, we could.
Okay, Colvin. Hey,
Hey, how's it going?
Calvin.
Calvin, what's up,
Yeah, what's
man?
going on? Hey, so yeah, thanks for giving value this morning, y'all. Um, Joe and Joe, I appreciate that.
Joe and
Hey,
Joe.
yeah,
We get
J J and J, yeah.
yeah,
AJ.
Jay and Joe. So I want to ask you, I have an investor in Chicago. He specializes in multifamily. So he builds modern like three flats, like three units, like triplexes. Do you see a market for that? Say in McDonough or even in the Atlanta market?
So a three-family unit
Yeah, like a
or a
triplex.
three-story unit?
Because he built
A
three
triplex. Okay.
stories. It could be three
So
stories. Yeah.
so it's not
Mhm.
so much it's not so much if the market asks for it. The market's always going to ask for it. The question is if the county's going to admit that, right? So you
Mm.
could ask the county whatever you want to build there. If they're okay with it and it's zoned correctly for it, then yeah. But if you're trying to go up out your way to do it, then you have to the property. It's expensive.
Mhm.
Rezoning property versus like subdivided process, the hearings with the county. Some of the counties have hearings every 6 months, right? So, for instance, we have a
Mhm.
scenario right now that we have to go through a couple of hearings for a project that was funded in September of last year, and we're still going through it.
Wow.
So it depends on
Mm.
where you're investing at. So just do your due diligence, because if they do allow
Mhm.
a duplex, a triplex, or a quad, man, if the numbers make
Mhm.
sense, run it. At the end of the day, your lender's going to tell you, "Hey, Calvin, you know what? It's not. We don't see it." Or if the county doesn't let you do it, then you pick that up through your due diligence process.
Okay, so it's only based if the county allows it. Um, so if the zoning allows me to convert from uh, single family to multifamily, then I get the okay to go with that, right?
Correct. Yes, it has the zoning has to be equipped for whatever you're trying to build there.
Okay, okay. Because I'm looking at some areas that there could be opportunities. It may not be in the city of Atlanta. I'm kind of looking out like maybe Mapleton, Dallas, those areas. But like you said, I still have to do the due diligence to see, if if multifamily will allow me to build in those areas. So
Thank
Okay.
you. Simone,
Due diligence, you're developing.
yeah,
I, I,
I think you're breaking up.
yeah, you're driving. I think
Oh,
your signal's low.
can
Yeah, but
you hear me?
thanks, Joe. Appreciate it, man. I
Hey,
can hear you
Simone,
now.
you had a question, Simone?
Yes, good morning, everyone. Joe and Joe, I wanted to find out what is the minimum size lot you should be looking for if you wanted to do like the mobile home on?
Most counties are, what is the minimum? 1 acre.
Mm.
So
And
so
the ones
you
we've been in.
yeah, so the ones we've been in, depending on if it's sewer or septic, you have to go with the health department. the the uh, the the environmental health. Environmental health is going to tell you exactly how many acres per home you could have. So some counties, their health department is different than the neighboring county. So some could be like, yeah, you're okay with half an acre, and some are saying, hey, no, you need to have an acre point two per home set on site. So it all depends on the county, but always when you do your due diligence before putting it under contract, call the county and say, hey, listen, my name is Simone. I'm looking to buy 123 Main Street. Can I put a manufactured home here? They're gonna say yes. Okay. This is 3 acres. How many homes can I put here? And they're gonna tell you, well, 1.2 per home. So you figure it out. So if you got 3 acres and you need 1.2 of an acre point two, then you can only do two.
Two,
Right?
right.
So yeah, from there you just subdivide it right there in the middle and you keep it going.
Okay. Thank you.
Sure, my pleasure.
Now, guys, to kind of come to an end, I got some wisdom or reflection questions for you guys. So, for both of you guys, if you could sit down with your younger self, what would you tell your younger self? The mistakes that you've done, or some things that maybe you could, do better. What would you tell your younger self?
I'm old. Can I tell you?
Go ahead.
What are some wisdoms you would give to your younger self?
Don't buy the new car. Save your money. Make investments. Don't buy the cool stuff until it's the second turn of the same dollar.
Car is not investment?
Don't blow
Yep.
my
Asset.
don't blow
It's an
my
asset.
401k in trips.
I like these guys. Okay, we're having a whole. Okay, come on, keep going. Let's go.
I should have
I would
started
say,
sooner. That was my biggest mistake. Using my retirement funds and things that are gone. I'll never see that money again.
I would say, don't trust everybody. That was my biggest downfall early in my life was trusting and then getting stabbed in the back. So yeah, that's my biggest thing.
Very good.
hey Joe, you're from New York. That's the reason why you can't trust nobody from New York, right?
No, it's true. It's true, man. No, yeah, it's just
Yeah.
trust but verify. That's my biggest thing. So that I would definitely go back to me. But to be honest, um yeah, we could say that. Oh, what would you do to do something that you would change? But you wouldn't be here if you didn't go through what you've gone through in your past.
True. Very
So
true. Yes.
so enjoy the journey, guys. Enjoy it, whether it's good or bad, because everything comes in seasons. You're gonna have days where you you know you question yourself. You're like, man, why is it I see everybody winning but not me? Guys, the Lord always has different journeys for everybody. Enjoy your journey, sharpen your skill set, and execute. That's it.
Yes, I love that.
Yes.
But yeah, but especially with social media, like you were talking, Joe, like people are going there, oh, you can make 1 million a day. People that have no experience are there doing all kind of things, and like, and then you trying to do your business, and then you see all of this, and you start asking yourself, like, am I doing the wrong way? Why is it taking so long for me, right? And it gets so busy, and you need to focus and say, hey, this is what I'm doing, this is what I'm working on, and enjoy the journey, enjoy everything that you're doing, and it should work out. It's not gonna take a year, it might take 5 years, 10 years. Just it's not that easy. Business takes time to build. So I think that's the best, and really enjoy the journey. I love that.
And guys, if so, what next event can you have? Where can people find you guys?
in Instagram. My handle is IM_Jovana.
Can someone put it on there who has her thing there? Who's not driving?
I'll put it.
Okay, well, see, I could never
Okay,
do it, even in the car.
my handle on Instagram is DukeAllenCo_PML. Joseph Castaneda on Facebook, and Joe Money on OnlyFans.
You guys are funny. So what do you guys have coming up? What events do you have?
So we have Nosotros. We have an amazing event coming next month. Mike Tremini, with Tremini, it's coming from North Carolina. We're going to be going over creative financing and seller financing. He's a very seasoned vet. He's been doing this for many, many years. And so we have that. And then of course, Flipping Mojitos and Gwinnett Works is our monthly networking event. Guys, many people have connected, made so much money, made so much business just coming and networking. Like, you don't know who you're gonna meet at a particular in a particular room that you just mesh well. Like, you just don't know until you're out there. So so those are the three things right now that we're doing. And of course, our new hire training next week for 5 days, where we're going to be going over all type of financing. So it's going to be at our office or on Zoom as well.
Amazing, guys. Okay, I see it on there. Guys,
Hey, I also dropped the Nosotros Instagram channel there. If you have any friends or anybody that speaks Spanish, let's connect.
Although our group is usually our classes are in Spanish, this one next month it's going to be in English. So everyone is more than welcome to come.
Yeah, we'll still have the tequila. Don't worry.
Yeah, tequila's there, whether it's English, Spanish, or.
Guys, I would love to come. I would love to come, guys. That's yes. I need to learn Spanish. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much, guys. Thank you for coming on. We're getting towards the top, the bottom of the Zoom there. Chris, did you want to add anything?
No, I just want to see if anybody has any co-living question, because we said we're gonna before we wrap up.
Christiane, when are you doing your next on-site?
I mean, I'm focusing on co-living. I'm selling a flip that I started.
No, he asked you when you're gonna do your on-site. He wants to go visit your spot.
Yeah.
Oh, you're talking about the tour?
Yeah.
Oh, probably like in May. I'm working on this. My newest co-living pet is helping rehab that property. When that one is ready, and then we can do the tour. But yeah, probably gonna be a month and a half from now.
Oh, okay. No, yeah, we had our 2-day investor tour, the same tour.
Joe, can you repeat that? It's breaking up on your drive there. I think it's repeat that one more time.
I said that we had our 2-day investor tour the same weekend that Christiane had her tour.
Oh, yes. Remember that. Yes.
Yeah.
But I will. Once this one is ready, we can tour there. We can talk about numbers. The first one that we did was amazing. Like I really enjoy doing it. And, like I want to do for all my new properties that I'm doing on my own, have everybody comes, because I just have a different buy box. I do have some partners for some of my other co-livings, but for my co-livings that I own on my own, I want everybody to tour and, so I can talk a little bit more and go over the numbers and everything else. So I'll let you guys know. Probably gonna be May. Gotta push the rehab crew, to get it done. This one's gonna be 9 rooms. 9 rooms. I'm so excited. Okay, we can hear.
Yeah, I think the car is breaking up there. I think it's just signal. They froze. Guys, thank you so much, everyone, for coming on. Okay, they're back.
Guys, you guys have a happy Easter with your loved ones. Be safe out there. Enjoy with your family. Take it easy, and then back on the saddle on Monday.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Giovanna. Thank you, Joe. Guys, thank you so much for coming on. Everybody, we'll see you guys next Friday. Happy Easter, everyone.
Yes, happy Easter. Yes.
Yeah. Have a good weekend, everybody.
Thank you, guys. Thank you. Have a great weekend.